She walked into the bank that day with her head held high. But little did she know, she was about to be humiliated in front of strangers. A racist bank teller didn't just laugh at her check. He mocked her, questioned her worth, and treated her like she didn't belong. But what happened next? Oh, what happened next made that same teller freeze in shame. Because the very boy she was raising, the son she sacrificed everything for, was about to be revealed on the biggest billboard in the city. And that teller's laughter? It died in his throat. The struggle, it was a hot summer afternoon in Atlanta, Georgia. The kind of heat that sticks to your skin and makes every step feel heavy. Angela Carter, a 34-year-old single black mother, walked up the steps of the First Southern Bank with her 10-year-old son Jeremiah at her side. Her palms were sweaty. In her purse was a paycheck. Not much, but enough to cover rent and groceries for the week. She worked 2 jobs, cleaning offices at night and working at a diner during the day. Life wasn't easy, but she kept going because of one reason. Jeremiah, Angela whispered to herself, "Lord, just let this go smoothly, please." But as soon as she stepped inside, she felt eyes on her. The marble floors gleamed. The air conditioning blasted cool air, but the chill she felt wasn't from the AC. It was from the stairs. Behind the counter, a young white teller named Chad smirked as she approached. His hair was slicked back, his shirt too tight, and his smirk carried the kind of arrogance that comes from privilege he never had to earn. The encounter Angela smiled politely and slid her check across the counter. "Good afternoon. I'd like to cash this, please." Chad didn't even look at the check at first. He looked at her, slowly, then down at her faded uniform, at her son's worn sneakers. His smirk widened. "Oh," he said loudly, so everyone in the lobby could hear. "A check? For this amount?" Angela's heart tightened. She hated scenes. She hated being singled out. "Yes, sir. That's my paycheck." Chad picked up the check and held it like it was dirty. He turned it side to side, shaking his head. Then, with a chuckle, he said, "Where'd you get this? Cleaning floors? Picking up trash?" Angela felt her cheeks burn. Jeremiah shifted uncomfortably. Tugging at his mom's hand, Angela took a deep breath. "It's my paycheck. From my job. I worked for it. Can you please process it?" But Chad wasn't done. He leaned back in his chair and laughed. "This can't be real. People like you don't usually have checks this size. What are you trying to pull here?" Scene 3. Humiliation. The lobby went quiet. A couple of customers looked over, whispering. An elderly white woman frowned at Angela like she'd done something wrong. Angela wanted to disappear. Her son's small fingers squeezed hers, and she saw the confusion in his eyes. "Why is he treating us like this, Mom?" his eyes seemed to say. Her voice cracked. but she stood tall. "Sir, that's my check. I have my ID. Please, don't do this in front of my child." But Chad leaned forward, his voice dripping with cruelty. "I'm just saying, you people are always trying something. Maybe it's fake. Maybe it's stolen. Either way, I'll have to call this in." And then he laughed. Right in her face, Angela's heart broke. Not because of the insult, not because of the embarrassment, but because her son was watching. The son's eyes, Jeremiah, only 10 years old, clenched his fists. He wanted to shout, to defend his mother. But Angela squeezed his hand gently. She whispered, "It's okay, baby. We rise above." Her dignity, even in pain, was unshakable. Finally, after dragging it out and humiliating her in front of the entire bank, Chad reluctantly cashed the check. He slammed the money down on the counter. "Don't spend it all in one place," he sneered. Angela quietly collected her money. She didn't respond. But as she turned to leave, she whispered to herself, one day you'll see who we are." Scene 5. Fate has a sense of humor. A week later, Angela was walking Jeremiah to school. Their neighborhood wasn't fancy, but it was filled with love. She greeted neighbors, kept her head high, and reminded Jeremiah every day, "Don't let the world tell you who you are. You define yourself." Jeremiah wasn't just any kid. He was bright, talented, and passionate about football. Coaches said he was a prodigy. His dream? To one day play for the NFL. That week, something incredible happened. A local youth sports organization selected Jeremiah to be the face of their new campaign. Dream Big Atlanta. His smile, his jersey, his determination. It was all captured in a photo that was plastered on a massive billboard right in the heart of downtown. Angela cried when she saw it. Her baby. Her son. Larger than life. A symbol of hope for every kid who looked like him. The twist days later, Angela found herself back at the bank. Rent was due again. This time, though, something was different. As she walked up to the counter, guess who was there? Chad. Same slick hair, same arrogant grin. But this time, he froze. Why? Because right behind Angela, through the bank's glass windows, stretched across the skyline, was Jeremiah. His face, his smile, his message. A giant billboard. Dream Big, Atlanta. And the star of it all was the boy standing right next to the woman he had mocked. Angela didn't say a word. She didn't need to. The look on Chad's face said it all. His smirk vanished. His mouth opened, but no words came out. He just stared, pale, humiliated, powerless. Angela smiled softly and leaned down to her son. "See, baby? God always has the last word. The lesson. Racism tries to break people. It tries to humiliate, to strip away dignity. But no matter how loud the laughter, no matter how deep the hate, the truth always rises. Angela's son went from being laughed at in a bank to inspiring an entire city. And that teller? He learned the hard way that you never know who you're mocking. That child you look down on today might be the face on a billboard tomorrow. Closing line. So the next time you're tempted to judge someone by their skin color, their clothes, or their struggles, remember this story. Because dignity, resilience, and love will always shine brighter than hate.